Hey, listeners, I'm sure you already know, but we have a YouTube channel. It's called Anime Lately, where we do entertaining anime and manga videos and movie reactions sometimes. And we do some reviews as well. And we love to make you guys laugh and be entertained, just to enjoy us, to talk about anime and manga theories and discussions. Just anything Anime Lately videos, anything anime manga videos, you know that we will definitely do it. And you would never be short of any anime and manga related content. It's all on our YouTube channel. There's always almost videos every single day. Watch us. You'll love us if you love this podcast. On the next Dragon Ball Z. Sorry again. Rayapollo stream. My mistake, guys. But this is very entertaining. Rayapollo, our boy, reminds us of the good old days where everything was just so much simple. Where we can wake up early in the morning, be in front of your TV, and watching Dragon Ball Z. If you have a 9-to-5 job and you need something to listen to while you're at work, give your boy, Rayapollo, a watch or lurk on his Twitch channel at rayapollo.tv. If you haven't figured it out yet this month, Rayapollo is playing Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. So watch or lurk into his Twitch channel, the most good-looking Twitch streamer on Twitch. Just saying. If you need more movie reviews to listen to during your commutes, listen to the Careful Spoilers Podcast Network. They have new episodes that's coming out featuring the most anticipated movies of 2020, top 10 best and top 10 worst of the movie decade. And you can find all of those podcast episodes in your local podcast network on iTunes, Spotify, Stitchers, iHeartRadio, and more. If you're interested in listening to more anime manga podcasts, check out our friends at the Anime and Chill podcast, Get in the Mecha podcast, Mr. Check Waifu podcast, Project Manga and Project Webtoons podcast, Black Anime podcast, Worst Generation podcast, Anime Summit, and Black Anime podcast. And now, let's get to our podcast. Welcome, Anime Lately Podcast listeners and YouTube podcast watchers to another episode of the Anime Lately Podcast. I'm your host, Sam the Manga Man, and here with me are my Brotakus. Introducing first, the late demon in the Black Clover community. He has a great love for Trigon, Dr. Stone, and One Piece. The intellectual and sensational legendary Bash, Miguel And finally, our last co-host, he is the CEO of the Careful for Spoilers Podcast Network, the founder of the No Anime, No Life Facebook group. He is a connoisseur and passionate man for movies. The great and talented JB, James Barnes. How you both doing?
Doing good.
Doing good. Definitely a good week, and I'm happy to be here with you guys like every week, every time. I'm sitting here with this fine, good-looking gentleman talking about anime and manga and the world of the otakus.
Yeah, for sure. Because right now, this week has been a lot. Actually, a lot of mangas came out this week, especially through Viz. Actually,
yeah, a lot of new ones. A lot of news came out this week as well. Returning series like Death Note itself. So pretty interesting stuff. That has been a month of January. So it's been only the new year. So a lot of things have dropped. So I'm very happy about that.
Okay, guys. Usually, how we would start is we would talk about My Hero, but I'm afraid our boy Rayapollo is not available on this podcast. But he will return next episode.
Yes.
But always check out his stream, especially now when he's doing his pancake stream. And he's falling through a bet that Miguel has. Well, not a bet. More like a donation. But he tagged it, guys.
Pancake with cheese. It's definitely worth it. You should try it. Do not judge it before you try it. James, do not shake your head. You're going to try it too.
Judge it deeply.
You're going to try it, you're going to eat it, you're going to enjoy it. So it's definitely tasteful. But definitely, Ray's going to be here next time. None of us have watched the most recent episodes, so that's why we're not going to have the chance to really talk about it. And right now, James is not cut up to the manga, so we can't really discuss the manga currently. But if you want to see anime reaction, check out Ray's reaction of last week. And also, if you want to see manga reaction, check out me and Ray and Sam talking about since Ray finally joined our manga reactions as well. So that was pretty fascinating.
And also, pretty soon enough, once you catch up to Black Clover, you're gonna see both Miguel and Rayapollo doing
Talking
the Black
about it on the
Clover
podcast,
manga.
so that'd be pretty fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's gonna be cool.
I can't wait for you guys to do this part of the segment. So, since we're not doing the My Hero Academia anime this episode, even though it's the start of the school festival arc, let's go into our own personal watchings and readings.
So I will start off with anime so far. What I have watched is something new and different, other than our weekly coverage on our end on the YouTube side, is a show called Babylon. It was an Amazon exclusive, and it's something that always pop up when me and Sam were doing Balenciaga and everything. So it was always there. I'm like, what is this Babylon? So I was curious about it. I watched the first episode only. It's only 12 episodes. It's very like a mysterious type of show. Is about a health insurance company. The first episode is it's about health insurance company do some embezzlement, of course, in a society that always does embezzlements in any type of TV or type of movie shows. You get some type of crooked person do some type of embezzlement, but the mystery is not there. It's more that this embezzlement is more deeper than it is, because after the end of the episode, you find a dead body. So I'm like, oh, okay, so this is more interesting. Now I see the anime feel of this type of series. So it's very fascinating. It's very interesting about this. So I was very happy about the show itself and plus the structure of the way it is. So I was very fascinating about that. And I didn't get the chance to continue with the anime itself, but I'm definitely gonna continue watching. Hopefully by next week I could talk more about the series. But the first episode definitely got me intrigued and definitely got me interested about that. Before that's the only anime new stuff I watched. So before I go on with the manga, does anybody want to discuss anime stuff as well?
Well, before I go into anime, I'm hearing good things about Babylon, especially when you see the Babylon anime being on the Crunchyroll Awards.
Oh yeah, I did see that. Yeah.
So what do you think so far that you know that some of these contestants were actually it's going to be in this awards?
Well, I can't really give my full thoughts about that. It's only one episode, and like me and James were discussing behind the scenes, is that a show we usually give it 3 or 6 episodes at least to see if it hooks us in. One episode I can't really agree if it was rewarded to be in the Country Awards. I have to give it another 4 or 5 more episodes to actually say, okay, I see why, because of the anime opening, the storyline, the animation, the score.
Of course.
I can see why. So get back to me next week on the next episode of recording. Then I will see, okay, Sam, I do agree. This is why it should have been on the Country Awards because of this reason.
Okay.
So I'm happy with. So I definitely will get back to you next week about that.
That would be interesting to hear. Okay, James, do you want to go for your anime side?
Yeah. So I actually want to give Babylon a shot. It was on a list of anime that I'm trying to catch up on because I haven't really been watching any new anime from this season. So the first one that I want to talk about is Plunderer. I talked about this on last week's episodes. I'm caught up. This is really good. The MC is really cool. His powers are really cool. And the antagonist, the guy that's after him, he is also really cool. You will know the name Lieutenant Murdoch. This guy is really cool, really powerful, someone that matches the MC's power. It's getting really cool. I was locked in from the first episode on this one. So this was really cool, and I'm looking forward to see where it goes. The third episode was a little bit slower compared to the first two, but the fourth episode, really, really good. Had a lot of fun watching it.
Okay, cool. Like something looking forward to. Because I'm up to the third episode, and it seems more like it's fan service in that point of way. It's just,
really?
Yeah, like the third episode, not even the whole. It's not a beach scene. It's not a bath scene. It's not even. It's just the whole. Like, just give this poor man a date because he has never been in a date before in his life, and he's been around for a very long time.
He's a pervy character, and it was just the anime was just showing you what he does in those moments. But we'll see where it goes. The second one that I've been watching that I did not expect anything from, but I've been having a blast. It's called I Don't Want to Get Hurt, So I'll Max Out My Defense.
Oh, okay. I know that one. That's also an isekai.
I feel like I've heard
anime,
about
yeah.
that, or I feel like one of us had discussed about it, meaning you or James had discussed about it before. But I
No,
feel like I've heard about it
haven't.
before.
I know about it, but I
I
haven't.
just found it yesterday.
Okay.
So
Oh wow.
it depends on who you ask. I guess it's not necessarily an isekai if they're in a
Adventure
game world.
Okay.
But the game is called New World Online. It kind of reminds me
Oh, Sword
of
Art Online.
just a little bit of SAO and just a little bit of Shield Hero,
Okay.
because the MC, the girl, she doesn't want to be hurt in any way in this game, so she maxes out her defense,
Mhm.
and she's actually super OP in terms of having like the best defense out of anyone she's gone up against so far. So it's actually kind of pretty cool that she's OP in this separate wave just of using this shield and not like actual like other weapons. So it's pretty cool. She also has like a the person in her party, her friend, because I don't want to give too much away.
Yeah, of
Her
course.
friend uses swords, so it's kind of how you have the sword and the shield, and they're
Mhm.
this really great team. So that's 4 episodes in. I'm having a lot of fun with that. So you guys should check it out if you haven't seen it.
Can she like switch her shield just like Neifumi in the Shield Hero, or is it just
No.
like one big black shield that she has that's
Yeah.
like in the cover of the picture?
Yeah, it's
cover?
just one shield. That's where it's more like SAO, where you have to like meet a blacksmith and you need materials if you wanted to create different shields.
Okay.
And is that anime or manga?
Anime.
And how many episodes? Oh no, do you know?
It's 4 episodes in right now.
Okay. Oh, so it's new?
Yeah, this
Yeah.
is the new one.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
just
okay.
started this season.
Oh, okay. So I'll definitely check that out.
Yeah, but it's a lot of fun. The animation is really cool too, so you guys should check that out. The third one, the last anime that I've been watching is I finally started Darwin's Game.
Okay.
This is really, really cool. Darwin's Game is really,
Really, this is intriguing because like I was thinking like I don't know if James would like this too much.
But I'm glad you like it. All right. So what else your thoughts about it? Well,
yeah, it's like I have to choose my words carefully, but it's like a weird like future diary type of thing,
all
In a
where
way.
it's like
In a way,
you're
yeah.
a part of a game, but it's happening in the real world, kind of, but not really at the same time. So pretty much once you download this game, Darwin's Game, you're pretty much put into a situation where you have to survive the next hour or else you'll die. So you have to survive the hour. Whoever you're put up against, you have to either defeat them or just survive the hour, and then you can go back to your normal life until someone else challenges you again. The sound mixing, which is something I love talking about. The sound mixing is really good in this anime. The animation is good. The characters are interesting. In the game, they each have their own individual kind of powers to help them win the game. Yeah. It's really cool. I can honestly say I haven't seen anything quite like Darwin's Game. I'm only 2 episodes in right now, but I'm loving it.
I'm very happy to have somebody on the panel that I can also talk something about sound mixing and score, because something that I love discussing with people, that people really don't understand how much hard it is to have sound mixing very done well in an anime, TV show, or movies, because something that it adds a different flavor. And if you just watch an anime or watch a movie or a TV without the sound, you feel it like a whole is like a whole different universe. So I love how you bring that up, because I love the sound mixing, the score in Darwin's Game, because it brings it to you feel the tension to know that it is survival of the fittest. Like, he is literally just lost a friend of his that turned to pixelated. I was like, yo, my dude just died.
That was sick, dude.
I was like, okay, this anime is dope. And one thing I gotta admit, that the whole ending of episode 2, where the girl said, hey, I want to make babies. I was like, oh, okay, so this is what this type of anime too is. It's that fun edginess comedy. So I love that too.
I think that was the episode. That was the end of episode 1. Episode 2 is when they decided to do the partner up shit.
Yeah.
Partnership
Yeah.
up.
But that was entertaining. So I'm very happy to hear your feedback, because Dawn's Game is actually one of the top 5 most popular of the season. So I'm very happy that you like it.
Yeah, I'm absolutely loving it right now. And there's other anime that I need to get to on my list, but this season is shaping up to be a good one.
Yeah. A lot of people have their pros and cons with this, since there are not a lot of great hitters, but it's just that it's all different. It all depends on your taste of what of what you're looking for. So I'm really happy they like Dawn's game. At first, I was very curious about it. Like a game that makes you get superpower, but then you have to kill to survive. So I want to ask you, James, if you was put in that situation where a friend of yours sends you this game, would you feel like you survive? Not knowing what your power would be, but would you believe you'll survive in that game?
Do I believe so? Yes. I have been wanting to be teleported into a game world or some other world for a very long time. I am prepped for this. I am so ready for something like this.
All right, that's good. That's good.
The best way I can describe, I don't want to get hurt, so I'll max out my defense. It's if you liked SAO alternative Gun Gale Online. If you like that, I think this is kind of in the same vein, just different. Instead of the MC having a gun, it's just with this shield. And she does some really cool shit with it. Just like how Naofumi can do certain attacks, like
but that shield is big though.
Another attack. Yeah, it's a huge shield.
She
does so many cool stuff with it.
But it kind of looks much bigger than her, kind of in a picture. I'm kind of looking at it right now, guys.
Yeah, it's a body shield, so she's completely covered.
Like,
I'm thinking like she's like a tank or something like that, or she's just the shield, just literally her whole entire shield could just protect everybody while the opponent just get tired or something like that. I'm not too sure.
You guys just need to see it. I don't want to give too much away, but it's a lot of fun to watch.
I just added
sub or dub.
I just added. Oh, it's dub too?
Yeah, I'm watching it on Funimation.
Okay, so I just added to my anime list. Hopefully I'll try to find time to watch it. Then I'll give my thoughts next week.
Sweet, cool. Guess it's my turn with the anime. I watched a good amount of anime and some repeats to watch. Repeat watch is the interspecies reviewers, but this is for the uncensored version.
Of course you did.
You can't expect me to watch the whole censored version and literally in Funimation literally it says, sorry, can't have this displayed here. It's too sexualized.
James, fans, they literally had a whole black screen while me and some watchers saying, we cannot show this scene because it's too rated R. Maybe if anything, go watch it illegally. Like that's what they were telling the audience, got like literally.
But hey, the sound effects are still there. The girls moaning are still there, and other stuff too.
James, I'll give you this. Have you ever wondered yourself in life where you was in high school, college? Did you ever wonder where you will wonder, how would I look as a girl? Did you ever wonder that, James?
Sure.
All right. So in this episode of Interspecies Reviewers, the guys went to get a gender swap for 12 hours, we assume. So they gender swap from guy to a girl, meaning their privates switch to a girl private, and they got boobs for 12 hours, and they had the experience of a lesbian action. That's all I'm going to say. And the censor version took out the lesbian action, but the uncensored, what happened, Sam?
Well, you will see all these actions, and you see the reason why they had to censor this stuff, because the uncensored is of course they're going to show the opis, they're going to show uncensored opis, and they're not going to show the bottom part because that will declare it as hentai. If they were to show the bottom part, that's declared hentai.
Yeah.
But they touch borderline. They literally line crossing sometimes to the point where, wow, this could literally be classified as a hentai.
What's it called again?
Interspecies Reviewers, and it's also on Funimation.
But
we recommend to watch the uncensored since you're not doing any reaction or anything. Just enjoy yourself and watch it on Kiss Anime Daru. So just enjoy yourself.
Because even the opening and ending is censored, and you would know why.
The opening reminds me and Sam, when we heard it the second time, me and Sam remember like, this sounds like the YMCB. It literally has that YMCB. I'm like, yo! Yeah. And me and Sam just started dancing to the YMCA. The outro is literally the girls riding. When I mean riding, is actually riding. Yes. Okay. So, and it's hilarious because, by the way, guys, James, our co-host, is also subscribed to our Patreon. So technically, he can watch the full video of me and Sam doing the most stupidity stuff that we.
I will be doing that.
So you can watch the outro and intro of me and Sam. Well, it's more Sam, it's more me, and Sam just staring at me like, why do I do these videos with you? And me just
Hey, I do the stupid stuff like at least
kinda. He does it with me.
I did the opening in the opening. That's something.
But
And
he doesn't join me when I do the outro saying, "We are degenerates. We are degenerate." And Sam looking at me like, again, why do I do this with you?
like, why else would you be watching this kind of anime near hentai borderline? Funimation knew what they were going for. They knew their audience of who would definitely watch this.
What I'm shocked is that HiDAP did not license this instead of Funimation because they're more in that realm.
I'm kind of glad, mainly because glad maybe if they were to show the uncensored version like they did with the whole jet skis thing. Because from what I heard from that is that if you watch the first day it comes out, it's uncensored.
Correct.
Afterwards, it's censored. But then when you think about why the hell are you here, Sensei? Their censorship was just horrible.
Oh, yeah,
like,
was horrible.
Everywhere. So
that show is pointless.
It could have been back and
pointless.
forth.
Definitely.
Funimation, at least when you know that it's in Funimation, you give them like, all right, we know why they have to censor this part, and at least it's a longer anime episode, and the jokes are still there. The jokes are still there and hitting. They go fourth wall jokes too. They literally make fun of this demon that looks like Piccolo, like, you phony Piccolo look like. It's just like, damn.
So that's one thing I like about the show is that it breaks fourth wall breaking, and plus it's very meta with the jokes. So that's one thing I want to give props. Even though it, gets a comedy with sex and all that, but also it gets a comedy about being meta with the show itself. So that's one thing I like about it.
Yep. The next anime I just watched today was Toilet Bound Hanako-kun. Actually, it's actually the number 1 or number 2 placement of anime of the week, and it's actually really entertaining.
Yeah, it's true. Yes,
I'm actually very entertained. It's about a ghost that's the 7 wonders of the world in the school. Like, you always wonder, everybody's like have these rumors and thoughts about them, like, is it really true or whatnot? But the most famous one is the 7th one, and it's about this ghost that can grant you any wish. But the thing is, everything has a price to pay, and basically it's a ghost that can grant wishes but would always try to avoid the near consequential like kind of stuff. And she helps this girl who has no idea what love is but wants it, so she easily falls in love with almost any guy and always wish that the guy would always return the same feelings about her. And she ends up being his assistant, and literally they go through like a many crazy adventures discovering about all 7 wonders of the world and stuff like that. But it's actually really interesting. The animation works really well. Music is fun, and a lot of cute stuff into it too. But for sure, Hanako-kun, something that you could definitely should watch. It's fun. It's very entertaining. I've also been watching ID Invaded. I'm actually very entertained. I love the mystery. I love the thoughts of inside the heads of a serial killer. It seems pretty simple. It sounds simple, but it's actually not as simple as you would think. Because if you were to watch CSI Miami or Dexter or all those kind of criminal shows, it actually works really well for this anime.
That's what it first
Those
reminded
are some
me.
of my favorites.
That's what it first reminded me of when I first watched ID Invaded. I've only seen episode 1 and 2. That's why me and Sam haven't had the chance to actually make a review about it or like a first impression. But ID Invaded on the first episode, the first 2 episodes reminded me of Dexter and Criminal Minds. Those 2 in a mixed match is what it first reminded me. I'm like, okay, I fuck with this. Like, and also done as an anime where you could go more above and beyond since we're real life actors, it's much harder to go more into the crazy psychological side. But with anime, you can do that because you're doing more voice acting and then with the animation aspect. And I know James, you would love this anime because if it's down your alley with the psychological aspect. So I agree with what Sam is saying.
And a good mixture of Inception into this anime, of course.
Yes.
But also for sure, it's really good. It's like it's psychopath. It's serial killers finding other serial killers, basically. Like the government is captured these serial killers, and they want to know what goes inside their head. And then they see all this crime happening and all these serial killers happening. Like, hey, why don't we use this serial killer to help look for our serial killer? So they have this technology where okay, he can go into this Inception world and go into the mind of this criminal, that the serial killer that we don't know yet, but he could try to figure us out. He can help put the pieces together, find pictures, find clues, finds the victims, and have it all together, and maybe you could discover what goes inside their heads.
That's sick.
And like this main character, their main serial killer, he can literally be in your head. Like he knows what goes on in your head, and he will tell you entire facts. And his criminal record is that he kills serial killers. He makes them kill themselves.
Nice.
That's how it's insane. He literally fucks with their mind where like, I know you personally, and all you really for is just this and this and that. And like after the serial killer realizes all that, you see them afterwards in the end, they kill themselves. And like I was like, and he's just watching them like, that's right. Oh, you're almost there. You're about to kill yourself, and then you're about to die. I was like, damn. He's very sick in the head.
It kind of the character reminded me a bit of Rorschach. It reminded me of the way he speaks, the way he really gets into the head of the person he's trying to kill. Because Rorschach himself is technically the way he acts is technically a bad guy, but he just makes his moves and his motives
anti-hero.
Yes, like he makes himself as a anti-hero, his perspective. What he's doing is a good motive, but he's making the criminals go insane, and that's why I felt like the character was perfect the way Sam described it, and I felt like it was a Rorschach type of character in an anime. Like this anime is so underrated because not a lot of people are talking about it, and that's what I wish more people talking because it's not probably action type, but it's more psychological and something that will really make you think about life. And like, yo, shit, like the way people speak, just the type of words you use can actually make people think in other perspective, in other type of persuasive mindset. Like it's really fucked up.
Yeah, I like it because they also talk about the id, the psychological stuff, like what drives a serial killer to kill or murder. And they have this technology where they can detect killing intent, but also more of a psychological, like insane intent, which is really cool. I think you'll like this, James. They actually have both. They simul-dub this. It's both sub and dub. I'm watching this in dub at the moment.
Oh, it's dub.
How's the dub?
It's actually pretty good. It's not too bad. It's actually really good.
I haven't had the chance to listen to dub. That's why I was like, I've been listening to sub, but now since I'm like 2-3 episodes behind, I could actually watch the dub now and see how it is. So
yeah, I feel like something like this, I would want to watch the dub. But I mean, I'll try both and see.
Same here.
Where it goes.
Yeah,
this sounds like something that's definitely up my alley.
Yeah, because I recommend it. It's really good.
If you can, James, try to find the time to watch because I would love to hear your feedback about it in next episode next week.
I'll make sure I do. However many episodes there are, I'll watch all of them.
I think there's four
episodes right now.
Yeah,
4 or 5 episodes right now, and it comes out on Sundays.
And on Sundays morning. Yeah, Sundays morning. I think 11 a.m. So yeah, you're good.
Definitely for sure. But it's
Crunchyroll,
Funimation.
Okay,
and Hulu. So
yes,
whoever wants to watch it, you got both options.
And plus, give us your thoughts about it down in the comments or on Twitter or on Discord. So let us know about it.
Next thing I want to talk about is the Keep Your Hands Off Izuken. I've started watching that.
Nice.
I actually like the opening. It reminds me of the Black Eyed Peas music for some reason.
It does. I totally agree.
I forgot which song. Was
Pump
it was a very it's the older song, but it's the same director who does this. It's also the same director, I think, who does Devilman Crybaby. Also the girl who walked Short Walk for a Girl movie, and right now the Ride Your Wave movie. It's actually not too bad. The story, I get it. It's literally what Miguel said last episode. It's kind of like Us, where your imagination is up to you. When you're a high school kid, you have this imagination of wanting to be like how this helicopter worked, or how this plane works, and what's it like being an animator, and how you would design this certain stuff, and how you would draw this certain things, and you just imagine yourself like in real life that this is real, and you go on adventures and stuff like that.
I totally agree.
It's really relatable. I'm liking it. It's so far I've watched 2 episodes. I think right now I need to catch up to 2 more episodes at the
Same here
moment.
for me. I'm 2 episodes behind since there's like I said before, a lot of people think the winter season is kind of dry, but to me it's very good and it's more diverse. That's what I like about it. And I feel like something that Sam said that I really want to add on and plus piggyback for anybody that's a content creator out there listening, watching this, or actually if you have a friend that's a content creator, I recommend for them to watch the show because something that they can relate to it is something that it kind of drives them, and it's something that I feel like James or Ray, anybody that's a content creator can actually get something from this show and get some type of message for them to take away from this. So I highly recommend for anybody else a content creator or you yourself should watch this.
For sure. All right, guys, let's go on to our manga readings.
So, James, I know that you haven't read much, so we'll want to bring up anything because I know that me and Sam has read a lot this week.
I don't have anything right now, so pretty much anything you guys bring up will go into my recommendeds list that I'm writing down right now.
Well, next week we could go into Attack on Titan, so we can't wait for that too.
Yes, I can't wait, dude.
So, which one do you want to tackle, Sam, first?
All right, let's tackle the new mangas that came out. Let's first go with Undead Unluck.
So, Undead Unluck, I like it. I know a lot of people were iffy on it because the type of character he was and the very etchiness it was. And to me, I mean, that's not a big deal.
They literally put the block there. They literally put the censor block on it. You don't even have the shape or anything designed to look. It's a shonen manga. Of course, you can't show that.
Let me give the quick type of scenarios for James and for anybody that hasn't read this the chapter on the first chapter. I'll give you a synopsis real quick. So it's a dude named Andy. That is a name that's given to him by the end of the chapter, and he's undead. He cannot kill. I mean, he cannot be dead, no matter how bad it is. And his regeneration is good as
Wolverine's.
Is good as Wolverine and Deadpool, but way much faster. And also, he has some type of superpower ability with his regeneration that he could do. It wasn't answer how long he's been alive, but he's been alive for, my guess, roughly 200 years is what I could assume. And he met this girl that has unluck, not unluck where you can lock the door, but unluck where it's bad luck.
Where she can make the person she touches unlucky,
and they will die somewhere or another. So it's really interesting, the concept. Like, you have seen the concept on TV or in the movies where a person can die but wants to die because they've been alive for 200, 300 years and they got bored of it. We've seen this concept. But to see this concept with a dynamic where a person that is unlucky is pretty interesting. And I like the comedy and the dark humor about it. So that is the type of style of this manga is in the 2 chapters. So to go back what Sam was saying about the review aspect is where I'm intrigued because where by the end of chapter 2 they come with an idea of how they both want to survive, but also he has their own, he himself, the guy MC, he's been naked for the past day and a half, and I love that aspect where they really draw a block square blocking his dick. That's how they draw throughout the whole 2 chapters. And I find that very funny how, like, we know he's naked, guys, but we draw a block screen because this is covered by Viz/Shonen Jump. So we cannot have his dick out. So I love how they did that.
Yeah, because it's not just that. There's also a lot of the dark comedy as well for this manga as well. You learn how the girl's ability really works. It's literally like Rogue from X-Men. She cannot touch anybody or else they will die.
Like, and he's a perfect person to do that. And I felt bad for her backstory. I will admit to that. Her backstory was very sad because I was like, wow, that's pretty sad. No wonder.
Imagine it this way. Like, you know, when your hair goes a very long time, you need to get a haircut, right? But your barber cannot touch you. And she's killed so many of her barbers because they try to cut her hair and stuff like that.
And that's sad. Like, your own barber can't even cut you because once they touch you, they dying some way by raising her. Somehow, the laws of physics is going to somehow, the barber scissors is going to cut them.
Science cannot discover, like, why the hell this has happened. Like, every ridiculous accidents that's happened is because of her. And
that's crazy.
Tragically, of course, that's how her parents died too.
Yeah, and that's the backstory I was talking about. And
the length of ridiculousness is like extreme.
But also, I like how we also got more information about the world building in these 2 chapters. So that's really fascinating. And the art, I gotta give props to the art. The art was much better than expected. And plus the cover photos, and plus the cover art is very detailed, very highlighted. So that's one thing I gave props to. I don't know much about the mangaka. I didn't do much information about it, but the art style and the story is really fascinating. Hopefully, good luck to the series itself. Is very fascinating. So hopefully it continues with the dark humor itself and the etchy comedy. So I like it. I'm gonna continue reading. Much
Same.
better. It hooked me much better than a Gravity Boys. So I'll give it that.
For sure. All right, let's
Let's
talk
go
about
on to
that
the next one.
the next new manga, Mashle, Magic and Muscles manga.
Yes, I think James will love this one
Same.
because James will love it, and I think Ray as well because it reminds me. So think of this as a One Punch Man comedy with a fairy tale aspect of a magical world.
With Mob
Okay.
Psycho main character
Look,
and kind of personality where he doesn't show much emotions.
yes, I'll give
Okay.
it. That's a perfect example. Mob Psycho look with his personality, but the comedy of One Punch Man, but the world of fairy tale.
Let's think
And
about this. It's Mob, but he has no psychic ability, but he has Saitama's One Punch Man powers,
correct.
basically.
And it's
Okay.
really interesting. And he really has that One Punch Man. Like remember One Punch Man likes to eat his chips while he walks and everything. This kid likes to eat his creamy bread.
Cream puff.
Cream puff, yeah, like creamy bread, and it's pretty fascinating. It's really cute, and we see a interesting dynamic relationship growing in the end of the chapter 1. So I really like it. And this dude, even though he don't look built, but his strength is kind of
It's Saitama
divides.
level strength.
Yes, like his strength kind of divides the law of nature, where he could deflect a magic ability, which he technically shouldn't do. So it's very interesting, like how powerful is this dude because he trains every day because his dad tells him train every day, and he benches almost, I would say, 500 reps. 500 weight, and almost probably 20 reps or more in the morning and night. That's
Like,
that's
it's a
how
good
much he
reason
does.
though, because this world, everything relies on magic. Everybody has some kind of magic abilities, but he doesn't.
Yes.
He has strength instead. He has the
And
muscle strength instead.
plus, when we find out more
Okay.
information about the world, it's very sad. So I like it. Mashle, hopefully, best of luck to the series. So I'm intrigued. I was very intrigued and fascinated about the story. I had, I guess, the word low expectation because a lot of people was making fun of it. How saying, "Oh, it's a mob
I think that
psycho,
was the
Black
point.
Clover type of."
Because it actually has that kind of comedy in
Oh
that
yeah, it
certain way.
does.
So I think that's the point. So that's okay. That's all
Yeah.
good. Because that's the same reaction and feel that we had for One Punch Man manga and the anime series the first time. So it's in its right direction. It's it's worked before. I
True.
can't see why not. It won't work
Yeah,
again.
sounds like
Okay.
it's for me.
Yeah.
Definitely. I think between the 3 series that we're about to talk right now, I think Mashle, Zipman, and Undead Unlock for you, James. I think in your perspective of your taste that we know of.
But yeah, speaking of Zipman, as you guys know, me and Miguel aren't doing Zipman manga videos on our YouTube channel now, but we will talk about that. We're
Yes,
talking about right now on the
podcast,
podcast.
right? And will the time codes for you guys to listen to it and discuss it. Zipman this week was actually better than chapter 6. I like
Mhm.
chapter 7 a lot more. We have the world of the sword girl fighting, and I like her. Her character. I felt like I heard her voice inside my head, like the way
Mhm.
she kept giving her persona out there. It was very interesting, very fascinating, and it was very flamboyant because the way she just kept being so egotistic, like no worries, I'm gonna take you out. I got this sword, and I'm gonna continue taking you out. And then I love how at the end, Zipman himself, he just came like, oh word, so I'm gonna go save the princess. Like it felt like a can I capture the princess, but it felt like kind of capture the flag, but you have to take the people out from going to floor to
Siege.
the floor. Yeah, like siege.
Siege.
So it felt like that. So it was pretty cool.
The princess and the plunger.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I thought this chapter was a little bit better than last chapter, but it really does feel that every chapter is a villain of the week, villain of the episode kind of thing too. So I felt the fight was kind of short for the villain.
Agreed.
Or the opponent. But I mean, this is technically a superhero versus supervillain like manga series, so it kind of makes sense in a way.
But to me, it kind of feels like what you're saying. The villain of the week is what we as the TV watchers that watches the whole CW verse with Arrow and the Flash, they have the villain of the week. But I feel like they do it bad writing with this manga. I feel like at least they're giving that type of villain a quick backstory, know their and knowing their good one-liners, and it's actually interesting. But also a better possibility is that this character might come back in the future. So it's very interesting about that. That's why I find this better, and also it has that Power Ranger vibe. So that's why I'm more intrigued about
that's
it.
usually is when it comes to villain of the week. It has that kind of Power Ranger vibe, or Kamen Rider, right? Or Pokemon, right? Or something, whatever. Because it's usually like you meet new people, new Pokemon, new challenges, and then move on to the next episode with other new characters or new Pokemon, that sort of thing. That's kind of what I get from Zipman. There wasn't too much backstory when it came to the villain. Not as great backstory as Demon Slayer's like villains.
Oh yeah, of course.
Or like other animes. It just literally just went popping quick, easy villain that's so cocky, like this guy's not gonna beat me. This guy's not gonna beat me. I have all these weapons. I have this great tool. And then guess what? He got beaten. It's like, okay. So it's kind of it was predictable. We knew how it was gonna end up, especially when it's like 1 against 5 of like literally it's capture each floor, and each floor has its own floor boss. And of course, all the way to the top is where the princess is, where the top leader of the main boss is.
As long as it's interesting, and as long as it keeps the reader laughing, enjoying, because this series of Zipman, it kind of relies on his jokes. So as long as it's interesting and fascinating, then I'm all for it.
Yeah, let's move. I guess it's okay. We'll see. We'll continue reading it, and we'll review it from here on our podcast. But let's move on to our next manga. Miguel, your next read that you've done?
For those 3 is what I have done. I'll just say that what I'm starting to read as well is Kingdom. I haven't fully delved into the series a lot, so I cannot really give my feedback. But I will talk about next week in the next episode when I'm racing and everything. And I'm starting to catch up to Samurai 8 and Mission Yasakura Family, and also Spy X Family. So those are the 4 series I'm catching up right now. But I cannot give my full review or discussion. I'd rather get that next week when I have more thoughts on it, when I catch up and read more through the series.
Okay, cool. I've been reading some other mangas too. Domestic Girlfriend has been good. People might say it's good in a bad way, where it has all these soap opera dramas, but it works. I'm still thoroughly entertained, where I'm still addicted to read, like many people are. I've also read How I Got Reincarnated as a Slime new chapter. Like, oh my god, it was really good. After I finished that chapter, I had to reread it.
Wow,
at that moment, and I was like, insane, because Rimuru. This is I've mentioned this. It gets darker, and it gets very dark of how far Rimuru will go to protect his village, to protect his town and everybody in it. And he went beyond what a monster will be. He went demon lord level evil.
Okay.
I want to see that.
For a reason.
Question: since you're talking about this in the manga, will we be seeing this in season 2?
Oh yeah,
Even though we haven't discussed that yet. I mean, in a news topic in a few. Well, do you think we might see this in season 2?
Oh, you will. Oh no, it definitely will, because literally the poster of season 2 is him in his black suit.
I haven't seen the poster yet, so that's pretty dope.
Yeah, that's gonna happen. That's gonna be happening in the anime.
Okay, nice.
And during this chapter, he did the most sickest shit ever. Like, of course, humans are shit. Humans ain't shit when it comes to the isekai world. They will always go after greed, or they follow the king, or whatever, like their tyranny and dominance and stuff like that.
It's not just in a secret world. It's also our world. Just saying.
Oh yeah, but for sure, Rimuru's like, I'm gonna sacrifice all of you just to summon the most like darkest shit people ever to come into this face of the earth because I don't give a fuck anymore. Because
All
you
right.
guys just ruined me. You guys destroyed me. I have no choice.
All right, it's pretty dope. That's
And
pretty dope.
he summoned 3
Hey,
guys.
no more spoilers. No more
Okay.
spoilers there. You're
But
good.
for sure, it's cool. Rimuru will always step up. He doesn't need to really absorb monsters anymore. He could just kill, and he can and he gets their abilities and stuff like now.
Dope.
For sure. Another manga I've been reading that caught up. This is more of the rated R stuff. It's called Black Goko ni Tutsu Metsusha Sensei. I'll give you the synopsis. The largest rise of dark-skinned gals of this century. The start of high school life with best and strongest girls out there. High school teacher Imada Tamichi has been assigned to work at this school, only to find out that everyone in the class is a dark-skinned girl. Kurai, Kuruwa, Kurosoi. All the names have Kuro, meaning black, in them. Meanwhile, Kuromaka already falls in love with the teacher. It's the start of these lust-filled girls' straight love attacks on teacher's life. Basically,
So
yeah.
is this some type of ecchi type of manga?
A little bit more than ecchi.
Okay, so it's borderline type of hentai.
Before borderline hentai. It's
All right, so
ecchi in a way.
So now you see, guys, why Sam don't always bring this type of mangas up. But if you ever are curious about this type of mangas that Sam brings up, check his anilist. He reads way too much to give a whole list about it.
Yeah, for sure, because you will never know, because I read so much and update my anilist, and on my Twitter, you would never know I've read this. But
definitely true.
Hey, I mentioned it right here. If you guys really want to read this, want to know what it is, I'll send you guys a link. Just comment or put in the comments down below on our YouTube comments. That's really all I've read for now. A lot more than that, but for sure. But for sure, it's something that if you want more rated art stuff, I got that too. And
definitely
near
for sure.
borderline hentai or maybe dojin. But yeah. Moving on to our news. Since I've talked about slime, and we've already talked about it, that time I got reincarnated as a slime anime. Season 2 is premiering in fall.
I know who's excited. Who's excited? It is definitely James Barnes. How do you feel about that?
I love this anime so much. This was another anime I was just hooked from the very first episode. I was like, oh, I'm going to love this. No matter what they do, I'm just going to love this. And I love every single episode of the first season. I've been reading the manga. I'm a little bit behind, but I've been reading the manga. I can't wait for season 2. Rimuru is such an amazing isekai character and a great MC. I love it.
From what I just told you from the manga of what I read so far, you'd be like, oh,
I need to catch up right now.
I'm definitely excited. I'm
really
definitely excited myself into watching Slime season 2. It's because I was late in the game of Slime. I watched it after it already aired like 16, 14 episodes. So it was too that's when me and Sam started to doing anime lately reactions, reviews, and everything. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna watch this on my own time. Season 2, we're definitely reacting to this. Definitely. If Sam has read it already, I'm gonna be reacting to it by myself then, because I want to see Rimuru do his shit.
Because I got the thing I gotta give props about Daikama got reincarnated as a slime anime is their fight animation is really good.
They do a nice job with the fight animation, and there's one thing I was shocked, and also their comedy bits are very good too. So that's one thing I was laughing about, and the emotional scenes are great.
It gets it. The music too, the score for it as well.
I was just gonna say the sound mix too.
Insane.
The score is amazing. I think I like opening 1 and 2 almost the same. Like both openings were amazing.
But for sure, you guys are in for a treat for season 2.
Yeah. I'm definitely excited.
I think it's a great time to do it, especially when the first season came out in 2018 in the fall season. Technically, it's 2 years afterwards. That should be plenty of time for another 2 core anime for sure.
Most likely it's going to be fall in the winter again. So best of luck to them.
Yeah, for sure. All right, moving on. Steins Gate gets a Hollywood live action show.
So, question: should we just talk back to back with our both live action since we're going to talk about them right now?
Sure, I don't mind.
So Steins Gate, I know very little information about. So, does anybody want to take that in charge just about Steins Gate? I barely know anything.
I don't know anything about Steins Gate.
Honestly. I've watched the Steins Gate 0 this anime series, and I was pretty hooked in. I was
Alright.
really into the story because I know Steins Gate is one of the most popular science fiction anime to date, and the story is incredible. Like, it was first a game and then went into an anime, and they made the anime like incredibly awesome. It's all about time traveling. It's all about like preventing death. It's also like changing time in their mechanism, and it really works so insane.
It's really fascinating from what I have heard about many people talking about the show itself. I just never got the time to watch or actually intrigued by it to actually sit down and actually see how the show goes. But best of luck to the live action, since the one I'm excited about, I'm thrilled about, is One Piece live action film. Television, and it's produced by Netflix, which they don't have the best track record of producing live action, like aka Death Note, live action.
I mean, dude, realistically, anime adaptations are just hard. Adaptations in general are just hard. I just don't see how you make a live action One Piece thing
this one
and make it
Steins
good.
Gate,
I have
no hope. It is very possible.
Oh yeah, that's
but
different.
for One Piece,
I'm curious.
It's hard, especially if this is successful. Doesn't that mean it's gonna be like over 20 seasons or something? We're gonna have like another supernatural kind of thing.
Well, remember, Sam. But they're planning this ahead is because of two things. One Piece will be ending within the next 5-6 years in the manga.
True.
Anime, 2-3 years after that. So they need to continue the hype train after that, and also they know that One Piece is not big in the U.S. So what's the one?
They're huge.
One Piece
not as big as Japan, but it's still pretty big.
When it comes down to it, the U.S. audience, like for example, Ray, James, people are not big into it. It's because of how long it is. What's the best way to introduce a U.S. audience? But the best. Not best. One of the biggest streaming servers in the world, the one that has conquered the streaming service market, and that's Netflix. And probably that's why Oda and Shueisha / Shonen Jump and Viz has trusted, and Toei Animation have trusted Netflix to assist them with this production. What I'm shocked the most is the production value in each episode. That's what I'm shocked the most. $10 million in each freaking episode of One Piece. And that's Game of Thrones, The Witcher type of money of what Netflix has done. So I'm shocked about that. That's the one I'm most shocked about.
Well, I mean, even Witcher is a live adaptation, but for a video game though.
Game and book.
So,
but I'm shocked about that, to actually put that much money in One Piece.
At least it's not a live action movie where they have to cut up everything and literally skips up so much stuff, and we have no idea what's happening and why the hell these people are doing this. But insane.
I want to ask James, the person who's really not known about anything about One Piece. How do you feel about this as a non-One Piece fan? Are you curious about this? Do you feel like this will work in the U.S. audience? Do you feel like this is actually a good move? And plus the creator, Oda himself, actually being a executive producer and actually behind it, and also them not rushing this and actually being a smart move, taking their time about the casting, actually having this release. And also this is actually, to me, a good run for this, because they actually are doing the Avatar: Last Airbender also with the creators who first did it. So how do you feel about this, James, even though I told you so much?
Dude, honestly, I have zero hopes for this. I just don't know how you take, because I've seen clips from One Piece.
Yeah.
I just don't know how you take that and adapt it into a live action TV series. Sure, the story might be there, but the animation of how Luffy's powers work, how everyone's abilities work, the basis of the show, I just don't know how you turn that from anime and adapt it into live action. I am perfectly okay with being wrong. I hope it's successful.
Same here.
I hope it does well. I just don't see how they're going to make it work, because there's just something about anime. When you watch anime, it's just very hard to adapt the things that we actually like about anime and turn it into live action. I think that is just a problem. Same thing with video games. There is something about you being in control, in control of the pace and how everything moves, and then you're just given a movie or a series. I mean, The Witcher is doing great. I thought The Witcher series was amazing, but that's a lot easier to adapt than something like One Piece. I'm open-minded. We'll see it. The creator being a part of it honestly literally means nothing to me. Creators can be a part of stuff, but it's just how it's adapted. That's really what matters.
Agree.
Frank Miller created the spirit. He was a part of directing and writing that movie. Is one of the worst
Oh yeah, I
comic
know.
book adaptations ever
Definitely
fucking
agree.
made. And Frank Miller is one of the greatest writers ever. So that
Agree.
means nothing to me. We'll see what happens. That's really all I can say.
No. I just want to get your feedback about it, and I totally agree. And to me, as long that as the Luffy, his power is a gum fruit, as long as his fruit power looks better than Mr. Fantastic powers from both adaptations of Fantastic Four, as long as it look good as that and better, then
it will look better, but the thing is, I still think it'll look stupid, like elongated man on the Flash. Yes, Netflix will have a much bigger budget, but it still looks really silly.
You're 100% correct. Like, how can we see, like, to me, Mr. Fantastic power on the movies is much better done than the elongated man, because when he does it, I feel like it's so slow. I'm like, but in the comics,
well, when was the last time you saw the Fantastic Four movies? Because it looks really bad.
It's been a year, so it's been a while. So
it looks really bad.
But I totally agree that hopefully it's done better, and actually is what you're saying, that as long as that is the best of luck to them, Netflix, the One Piece crew, the fandom, hopefully it does the best it can get.
All right, guys. Speaking of another live action, the Batman's Mattson Tomlin pens live action Mega Man film script. So we've heard about this news already, and we still don't know if it's going to be Mega Man X, even though we're getting the pictures of it, or Mega Man Battle Network, or a Beast. We're not even too sure of how well this is going to perform.
Not to counter my own argument, is that I don't know what is it with, like, I'm kind of agreeing with what James was saying in a way, is that with Hollywood, they want to redo a Japan film or a international film just to change it up, and I find it ridiculous. Like, you don't need to change anything. Like, they're gonna redo Your Name. They're gonna redo The Raid. I'm like, no, those films were already perfect. You don't need to translate it. The same thing with Mega Man. Mega Man, I get it, but to have it as a live action with a little kid that has all different type of armor and change his suit into fire, water, and everything, that's really hard to translate. Maybe it worked for video game aspect, but
I mean, it's worked for Alita. It worked for Alita.
Alita is not that world-changing type of is a girl with weird eyes, and also with her arm being part robotic, and also a lot of background futuristic type of city.
Mega Man
but Mega Man
like
is more CG, and VFX takes time. How do you feel about that, James?
I mean, I agree with Sam. It's kind of more of that like Alita thing, where you just have this augmented being. This could work. This is prime. I think this is prime for a live action series movie. It's a movie, right? Yeah, it's a movie.
It's a movie.
Something like this, where it's just like, all right, we have this augmented human, and they're going up against a villain. This could go both ways. It could be really good, or it could be shit. Let's hope they go the good route and not the super generic route, because that's where it's going to get shitty. But I think this could work. You don't have to overcomplicate the plot. There's not a lot of weird powers. Everything is based in tech. And as long as you build a world and it makes sense, this can actually work.
Agree,
so I'm actually looking forward to this.
I agree, because this can actually be like because Mega Man is the most closest Americanized video game person, next to Astro Boy, which is Japan's #1 kind of robot boy in a way too, not just Rockman, which is their own Mega Man. But for sure, this can still work better than maybe One Piece live action.
Like, to me, if a game like Mega Man wants to be a movie, to me, with animation and VFX, has to be like the movie Ready Player One, because that one was amazing. That type of animation and plus VFX and CG was amazing. To me, that should fit the style.
Yeah,
Like,
but
actually
it's
looking that good.
supposed to be a virtual world, though.
It
It's
is
supposed to
virtual
be like,
world.
yeah, for Mega Man, it's a little bit different. I think it would be weird to do it that way.
Because the thing is,
True.
I don't like if they do Battle Network, it might be a little bit easier, but I feel like it's gonna be a combination of a live action movie and CG anime together. It's like when they jacked in Mega Man inside the networking world, and you see all these 3-dimensional world. Same what you would see Ready Player One,
Mm-hmm.
and basically the real world, the outside worlds. Everything is futuristic. Everything is it's not like post-apocalyptic world kind of thing, but this is more. But if they do Mega Man X, that can work also as well, because in that future it's literally robots versus robots, and to save the remaining of humans that's left in the world, and that's basically what's it about for. And if they do that, the weapons, I think they can have fun with it, because Mega Man X is every time he beats a villain, he gets a new weapons or he gets a new kind of suit, and he's able to use their opponent's weapons against their the next opponent or whichever that comes against them. So there's a little bit more hope for Mega Man's live action than I would say for One Piece live action. But I feel Steins Gate's TV show has a better shot and a better chance, which is better storyline that could work even with
Yeah,
the whole.
that sounds so easy to do.
Mhm.
Like that's very easily adapted
Mhm.
into live action. It doesn't sound like there's anything that they would actually have trouble with,
Nope.
unless they don't give a shit about the script.
It's gonna literally be about. It's gonna be at the end. It's gonna be the script, and it's gonna be the actors and actresses that's gonna be playing these parts. That's all that
Yeah.
matters. Because I feel like the actress for Alita did a very good job on her
Oh, she
part as being.
crushed it.
She crushed it. She did a great job.
That's also a good point that you brought up, Sam. It also depends on who you cast, because it depends if your lead could lead the film. Then as long as the cast could also do a good job, even though the CG is not perfect, then hey, like Alita, the guy that was her co-lead, he didn't do a great job, but Alita herself, she led the film great.
Okay, moving on. Bleach 20th anniversary project entitled Kubo's new workstage event announced on Anime Japan 2020, and it's taking place in March 21st.
I can't wait for March.
So there were so many outrageous rumors, or some people assumes an assumption that this is Bleach anime continuation.
Well, it's not fully confirmed of
It's
what
not.
it is. No, it's not confirmed what
It's not,
is
it's
or
not.
isn't. It could be Bleach coming back. It could be a Bleach reboot. Or it could be a Bleach movie. It could be many things, but we don't know what it is. And March is going to be an interesting month for that week, because so many rumors, so many leaks are going to be coming out of what is. And also Attack on Titan that week as well is going to be there from Anime Japan. And I know James is going to be fully excited when he hears news about Attack on Titan. So I know that's going to be amazing. But for Bleach news and a Kubo, I'm excited because more for a Kubo. Sorry, for Kubo, not Okubo. Kubo, because if he brings a new manga series in Shonen Jump Viz, I'm excited because when I started reading manga, it was when Kishimoto was writing Naruto, Oda One Piece, which is still going on, and Kubo with Bleach. And then now with Kishimoto doing Samurai 8 and Oda still doing One Piece, and then Kubo's coming back with a new series or whatever it might be, that's going to be pretty fascinating. All the big three, the original and only big three, to actually be back on Shonen Jump, that'll be pretty fascinating. And actually, years later, that'll be pretty cool. So I'm really excited about that, if that's true. And for Bleach, I'm not going to speculate or bring any rumors of what it is, because all I can say is I'm happy for the Bleach fans, the actually diehard fans that actually wanted the series to come back or in any type of form. Me, I'm not a diehard Bleach fan. I like the series, but I'm just shocked as flying fuck that it's even coming back in any type of capacity.
I mean, it
So,
can if it's like video games wise or something like that. Because I know they have smart game mobile games for Bleach still already for it.
James, you was about to say something?
No, just about to say, I'm not surprised at all. Like, we are in a time right now where everything that was older is coming back in movies and gaming. Anime is going to be no different. Dragon Ball is technically still running. Naruto is technically still running because you're getting that more of that universe in Boruto. One Piece is still running. Bleach is going to fill a void. I think I this is purely speculation, but I think the smartest thing for them to do is do what they did with Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood.
Reboot.
That's what I'm hoping
Do
so.
a reboot, better animation. You can not necessarily tweak the story, but you can tweak things to make it different enough, make it more interesting, make it tighter.
Yeah.
And I think that would be genius. I think a
Like
movie,
the reboot of
movie
Hunter
would be
Hunter.
yeah. I
Yes.
think exactly like that. I think a movie would be a waste because it's just one and done when something like Bleach is just prime for a new series for new anime watchers today. I think it would be a missed opportunity not to
Plus,
do a new
also,
series.
the best thing is out of this, when Bleach came out, it was at 420p. That's when it first came out. And I rewatch it, still good, still holds up. But if you really look at the animation, you're like, damn, this 420, like my screen looks smaller.
Yeah, it's old.
It's old.
Very
but
old.
If you watch it now with new animation, reboot, and if you actually take your time, you have the source material now. You don't need no filler arcs. No complaining about all the original has filler arcs. Not now. You can have the reboot. That's what I'm hoping for as a fan of the manga as a series. Not that hard, but a fan. I would love to reboot what James is saying because that would be the best decision that they should do. Not a sequel. Don't continue the last arc. I'd rather them do a reboot, refresh it with animation, and actually do a smooth. I agree totally with what James is saying.
Well, if they actually do the reboot, they're gonna need to have that last arc. They have no choice.
Oh,
because remember, Fairy Tail had no choice but to follow up to the last arc, even though they didn't want to, and it was so bad. They had no choice but to run that last arc.
True.
And that's the only way to make more money from it.
Well, what are you curious, guys, about a Kubo new series? Are you have any idea what it's going to do, or are you just curious or just happy?
I mean, I wasn't so into his other one-shot series with the witch thing. It didn't really appeal to me, and apparently it wasn't enough where it could be a continuing series, and it was a one-shot.
But which is rumored to get an OVA. Is what
I'm hearing, yeah.
We're not being talked about, but that's why we're not covering it, guys. But rumor is OVA. But once it's confirmed, we do talk about it in the future episodes.
I mean, it's nice that they're getting an OVA for that one episode, for that one chapter. But from that time where the chapter came out to right now, at 2020, that's a pretty long gap for that one OVA episode. It's probably gonna cost something. Not like chump change, but at least a small amount of money for it, just to have that animated and the easy one voice characters and stuff like that. But I think it's more of like for an honoring for Kubo. We'll do this OVA, and then whatever the next new work that he's gonna do is gonna be a series, something that has to be more series, not a movie, or hopefully not another live action movie. Well, even though I was okay with the first live action movie of Bleach. Anything can really happen here at this moment. So whatever Shonen Jumps or Viz or Kubo decides to do with this, there's going to be a lot of diehard Bleach fans that's going to be reading this new series. No questions asked. Moving on to our final news, a new trailer for the upcoming Ghost in the Shell, SAC_2045. The series is now going to be available worldwide on Netflix in April this year. So, James, I know you love Ghost in the Shell. This is you're a big fan.
So, take the lead, my man.
I have to say the CG animation actually doesn't bother me. I'm still trying to decide, like, is it just because I'm obsessed with Ghost in the Shell that I'm okay with it?
Most likely 100% you are.
Yeah.
That's probably what it is.
60% maybe. Yes, I think that's 60, 70%.
Yeah. But what I love about Ghost in the Shell is just how relevant it is to everything that we fear about technology. Literally being able to hack into someone else's brain to take information, augmenting our bodies to become better, and how we feel that we want to change ourselves for our own self-image. There's a lot to love and appreciate about Ghost in the Shell. and literally any story that I can get that advances the world, I'm down for it. I love Major. Major is one of my favorite MCs ever. So I mean, I'm down for it. I hope the series is good. I'll watch it. I'll be there watching it. But hopefully it's good. That's all I can say. I can't say anything right now until it actually starts.
For me, as a person who has literally 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 Blu-rays / DVDs of Ghost in the Shell and haven't seen one of them, not one. I'm excited for Ghost in the Shell.
Hey,
I just saw also the Scarlett Johansson film, and that was cool to me. That was pretty amazing film. I have my pros and cons. It's not a perfect film, but as a Ghost in the Shell anime live action adaptation, I can't say it wasn't that bad, but it could have been better.
I know I'm in the minority. I think that movie is an absolute masterpiece. I think every single scene is absolute perfection.
My favorite shot is when she drops from the building to the floor with the whole water scene right in the pond. That's my favorite shot. It was so
It
well.
is the best anime adaptation ever. Yes, that's not saying much.
It's not.
But
I totally agree.
I don't see anything topping it anytime soon.
I totally agree. I could have a full review of you about this, and we could get down to detail about the Scarlett Johansson film of Ghost.
That would be fun.
It's amazing, but definitely is exciting. And maybe hopefully by the time it comes out, I could watch at least 8 out of these or 1 out of these 9 films that I have here. I already have. I probably have more of a collection than James, who's a diehard fan. That's sad.
You are clearly living life on the edge, having this new Ghost in the Shell anime series, which it's with its 3D CGI animation as your second watch of Ghost in the Shell.
Hopefully not, because James will kill me. Like, I'll go watch at least 3 of them.
Life on the edge, I see, because not knowing what's going into, but you will definitely watch this series just because it's Ghost in the Shell, even though it's 3D animation, which
the standalone complex series is my favorite. It's so good. The Arise stuff is really good too, but standalone complex is just, it's so good. It's so good.
Talking about these Arise right here?
Yeah.
Are you talking about these standalone complex? I just
for those who are just listening to the podcast right now, Miguel is looking through his DVDs of
I have Ghost in the Shell the movie. I have Ghost in the Shell the Innocence. Look at that. What James just said. Ghost in the Shell standalone complex.
So good.
Ghost in the Shell complex. I think this is the first one.
Yeah.
The first one. And then I have Ghost in the Shell. I think this is a Blu-ray hardcover.
Yep, I have that one too.
And I have set on the complex the Solid State Society.
Yep, got that too.
So I have
the only ones I don't have is the Arise, movies.
Which, by the way, guys, if you want to know the backstory why I got these, because they have a dope cover and they seem cool. And the Arise one was the best looking one because like these look freaking dope. As like, look at this cover art. Look at this.
Yeah, they're really good.
So that's the reason why I got them. I didn't get it for no other reason. It's sad, but yeah, never had the chance to watch them.
So I know. So knowing that, I'm pretty sure we'll all watch Ghost in the Shell. And
hopefully.
Hey, why not? Why won't we all review it? That'll be a fun thing to do. We all review Ghost in the Shell because that's gonna be pretty fun, and we don't mind having it on our channel for sure. And yeah, this is something that we will all watch once April comes along the way. Good thing to know because that's where the start of spring animes. Oh no, that's March. Oh no! Oh, so it is April. Okay, so it would come either the mid-April then, because usually it doesn't start the same time as spring animes and like series in that sort of way.
Cool.
But that's gonna be a lot of things to watch for spring if you think about it. We have Love Is War season 2,
which is fine. Don't worry, guys. We got this.
A whole lot of animes to watch next season.
Cool.
But for sure, guys, this is the end of our podcast at the moment. James, can you give us your plug, please?
Yeah. You guys can follow me all over social media at C4Spoilers. The best way to find everything that we do, including all of the podcasts on the C4S Podcast Network, is at carefulforspoilers.com. As Sam mentioned in the promo, we are doing our best of the decade. We are doing our worst of the decade. We have lots of other more podcasts coming out for you guys, so stay tuned.
Yeah, guys, check him out and check his crew out because they have many content to put out week to week. And also, don't forget to check out Rayapollo with 2 L's, not Pollo. As much as I like to cut ass, I'm a good friend. Check him out, rayapollo.tv. You could check him out on Rayapollo every week on Sunday through Thursday is where he checks. He also changes his schedule, so definitely follow him on Twitter as well. His link is down below. But other than that, guys, follow me at Legend Divash and Anime Lily at Anime Lily _ Twitter and at Gene. Support us on Patreon if you guys want to help us and support this brand of Anime Lily itself. Check out Discord, Careful Spoilers Discord, Rayapollo Discord. Everything we have is in the description down below. Thank you very much, guys, for listening and watching our beautiful selves and this fine gentleman. Thank you very much, guys. Take care.
You guys have a good one. Peace.